Hey beer tubers, welcome back to another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Thanks for joining me once again. Today I'm going to look at another beer from the brewery. I have a ton of their beers to review, so I need to start getting through them. So this one I've had for a good while. This is Saison Rue. This is their Belgian style farmhouse Saison. This one does have the old gold cap before they got the nice checkerboard cap, so this is a fairly old version of this beer. One of the reasons why I had it for a while and let it sit is because they brew this Saison with Brettanomyces. So as you let a beer with Brett age, it's gonna add some more funkiness and those hay-like barnyard kind of characters as it goes. But unfortunately, you're gonna lose that nice, maybe potentially fresh hop character. Kind of like with Orval. Because my understanding is, I haven't had this in a while, but that they do use a little bit more hops than traditional Saison. Let's see, appearance-wise, this one's a pretty hazy orange. You can definitely tell, it's a bottle-conditioned beer. The bubbles aren't that small on it, but I got a nice, real nice bright white head on there. There's a good amount of carbonation streaming off the bottom. The ABV is 8.5%, so slightly on the higher side for a traditional Saison, but it's well within the range. Let's get the aroma on it. Yeah, you're definitely starting to pick up some Brett notes. There's definitely has that big yeast esters. There's slight bits of citrus notes. Could be from the hops, but I get a lot of fruitiness too coming from the yeast esters. Almost like tropical fruits. There's a bit of that sort of funky hay kind of barnyard character to it. You're definitely picking some of that, but there's also maybe like a pear, getting into what kind of fruit? Probably like an apricot. There's almost like a slight bit of a acidic note to it as well, possibly coming from the Brett. And then there's just some bready malt notes in there. Nothing too bad. Just mainly the yeast character and wild yeast in this case dominating the aroma. It smells like a good Saison. Let's dig in. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. Just really crisp, refreshing Saison. Perfect for these hot July days. Goes down real smooth. Do not taste that 8.5% alcohol at all. First sip. Maybe it'll creep up later as it warms up. I am drinking it on the cooler side. Yeah, it's really refreshing and smooth. Up front, carbonation, big fruity notes that I was getting on the nose. I mean, it's borderline like tropical fruits kind of mixed with that like apricot kind of peach notes. It's really nice, really fruity. And then the back end, you get some spice notes, kind of like a, coriander, clovey kind of spice note. It's not too peppery like some Saisons can be. Goes too peppery. This one tends to be a little more fruity. And of course, it's nice and dry in the back end. It's a real solid. Well, let me get another sip, see what the body's like. I would say this one's more medium bodied. There's definitely some lighter Saisons out there. It's got good mouthfeel though, especially for beer that's pretty dry. Sometimes it can be even lighter than this, but maybe the Brett hasn't quite gotten to a point where it's really just doing its thing on and breaking down these more complex sugars in the beer. It's a good balance to it. There's a little bit of sweetness up front with that fruitiness in the back end. Really dry, crisp, nice finishing beer. I'm going to let this thing warm up a little bit since I just kind of pulled it out of the fridge not too long ago. So I'll be back with some more thoughts on Saison Rue. Okay, and I'm back with Saison Rue. This is a fantastic Saison, especially for an American brewery. It's something that I would put up there with Red Barn from Lost Abbey, Hennepin from Omegang. I haven't had the Boulevard Tank 7 or Saison Brett, so I can't compare it to those, or the Jack d'Or from Pretty Things. But as far as American Saisons go, I think they nailed it pretty well. I mean, as it warms, you still get more of the fruitiness up front. It kind of verges on tropical fruits, but mostly like, you know, white stone fruits, like, or you know, like the peach, apricot, that kind of thing going on up front. And then as it warms, there's a little bit more sweetness that pops up. You know, some breadiness from the malt. They do brew it with rye, and that I think really helps with the mouthfeel on this beer because it is a medium-bodied beer. A lot of saisons can be kind of light medium to even just light bodied, but I think the rye kind of helps with mouthfeel, and it also kind of helps give it a slight little spice note. Kind of plays in with the yeast character that you get at the end when you get the slight sort of coriander-ish kind of spice note. It's not too peppery. Maybe that's the Brett kind of taking over. There's 4 strains of Brett, and the Brett they use for this one's not like one that's big on the funkiness. It's not very funky like a sour lambic. You know, some Cantillon beers can be very funky. This one doesn't quite have that kind of funk in it, but it does help the initial sweetness kind of balance out and dry out. And yeah, I'm gonna give this one an A. I think it's an excellent saison. I recommend that you get 2 bottles of this, since they do use Brettanomyces in the beer. Drink one fresh. Supposedly it's got a little more hop character on front. And then age it and let that Brett kind of take over, do its thing. Give it at least 6 months in the cellar, if not longer, and you'll kind of get this version of the beer. So that's going to wrap it up. Another excellent beer from the brewery. They do some fabulous beers, and I have plenty more of them to review. So until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.